how to pray effective prayer, result-oriented prayer. Prayer is so important. Prayer is so powerful. But I want to take you on a different dimension of what you used to know about prayer. Yes, prayer is so important, but prayer cannot change anybody's will unless you, who is submitted to the will of God, that prayer can change. If a man refuses to submit his will, your prayer cannot break his will. That's how a woman, according to a life story, a woman was praying that God will break the will of Kenneth Copeland, so that Kenneth Copeland will abandon his family, abandon his wife to come and marry her. Look at the prayer. Did it happen? No. Why? Because God cannot violate, override the will of another man. The man must be submitted. That's why you can't pray for change. That's why prayer cannot change a nation. Rather, prayer can change you to change a nation. Prayer can also change people who are submitted to the will of God to change a nation. But prayer to change another man's will, lie, except the man is submitted to that will. Two, some persons say that, but the church prayed and Peter was released in the cell. My dear, interpreting scriptures with scriptures, Peter's will was submitted to the will of God. He was praying in that cell. Because if you check Paul and Silas, the church was also praying for them. But they were also praying in the cell. As they prayed, as they submitted to the will of God, then the power of God flowed through them. So Peter was also praying in that cell before the power flowed. There was now a corporate faith. So you praying that people's will should be broken, lie. It can't happen except the people you are hiring in authority. That is your children, maybe your wife, and so on. That you can pray and your will now cover their own will. Other than that, no. This is so important, because if you check Jesus, all his prayer changed him, strengthened him to become a representative of God to the world. When he prayed, Father, I thank you that thou hearest me, and that thou hearest me always. Lazarus, comfort. Lazarus didn't comfort until he became a channel through which God's power flowed. The man at the pool of Bethsaida, what do you have me do for you? Take up thy bed and walk. The power didn't flow until Jesus was a representative of God's anointing. The woman with the issue of blood, when she had decided in her heart, and she moved and touched the hem of his garment, Jesus' prayer was not what you change the woman's will. The woman submitted her will, and thy faith has made you whole. Their will has made you whole. This is so important, because people think that they will use prayer to break people's will. You're wasting your time. Prayer cannot change anybody except the person is willing to change. Even Jesus in Gethsemane, if he had not submitted his will to the will of God, nothing God for do to break his will. Not my will, let your will be done. This is so important. Now, why is this important? Because you must understand that prayer changes you, strengthens you, makes you become more aware of the presence of God, to become bold, fearless, courageous, compassionate, filled, to go out there and wrought God's miracle.